It's definitely going to be Mahrez. Oh, it's a good hit. It's an absolute stunner. Riyad Mahrez against Chelsea again. Foden delivers. Laporte was there. It's not been cleared yet. Alvarez with a lot of traffic in his way. Well defended. Out they come. It's being checked. Oh, I think this is going to be a penalty. Oh, so close! But it's in. Kepa could not have done any more. You know, they really are asterisks. 3 of these matches against City, 1 against Arsenal, but it's going to be 7 defeats in 10 games. That does not happen to Chelsea. Walker, Foden, 3-0, game over. As Mason Mount has a shot, we nearly saw something for Ortega to do, and I think he got a fingertip on that. Mahrez, you know what he's going to do, he's going to do that! He's very nearly ripped in another off that dangerous left foot of his.
Our hearts goes out to you in these very, very difficult times. Feels good to be back in the studio. We're once again open for business, and we hope you're set to bank with us on today's episode of Football Bankers. The guys are here in the studio, and they are set to give you in-depth analysis as well as guide you through your stakes for the round of first of analysis. And the show is put together by 1xBet, and the guys are set in the studio once again. We saw plenty of games went down last week with so much predictions in the studio, and we hope at this point you should be able to hold the guys responsible for all they said last week. Octopus Faruk got it 100% correct. We'll definitely be visiting that at some point. The show is Football Bankers once more. My name is Mathew Okugbe, made possible by 1xBet. Faruk, feels great having you in the studio, the man that needs no introduction.
Well, it's good to be here once again. Like I told you last week, we keep on making you guys smile because we are here just to make you, happy.
Yes, and the man that is very, very calm, very, very precise, and you like his dictions, Umeh.
Yeah, Matthew, it's another Friday, another opportunity to put money in the pocket of our viewers. I can't wait.
Yes, I'm talking about putting money in the pocket of several persons today. Courtesy 1xBet. Remember, 1xBet is your #1 betting platform at this point. Easy to register, easy to play, and also easy to win. You must also note that 1xBet is beyond football. You can bet on 1xBet both on tennis and other sports, even virtual sports. They have it all plenty. So visit 1xBet at this point and become a regular winner on that platform. Remember, the show is Football Bankers, and we are set once again to take you through Europe's top leagues, and also as the Nigeria Professional Football League is concerned at some point in the show. We'll be kicking off with the English Premier League fixtures that will be going down this weekend. Very, very interesting one. Last week was all about the FA Cup, and this time around the guys are set. The Gunners are still, interestingly, topping the chart as far as the league is concerned. We'll be looking at games that will be going on this week against Leeds United. It will be Manchester United up against Manchester City, the marquee fixture if you ask me. Wolves will file out against West Ham. It will be Nottingham Forest against Leicester City. Brighton will lock horns against Liverpool. Everton will file out against Southampton. Brentford will be at home against Bournemouth. Chelsea will lock horns against Crystal Palace. It will be Newcastle against Fulham, and Tottenham Hotspur will be at home against informed Arsenal Football Club. Azul, let me start with you on this. The star match for this weekend, we'll keep that for later. Aston Villa locking horns against Leeds United.
A game against between two teams that are maybe average. You want to say. Villa suffered that surprising defeat to Stevenage at home in the FA Cup. Incredible. Leeds United. They've picked up in the past 2-3 games. I think they're unbeaten. It's a game that I expect to see quite a few goals in it. I actually have that on my account. You would see that later on. So it's a fixture that I'm sure would be very exciting with 2 goals.
Yes, talking about one fixture that would bring about plenty of entertainment. We'll be looking at Chelsea up against Crystal Palace. Chelsea, for every team in the Premier League, you want to say this is the best time to be playing against Chelsea?
Yeah, absolutely. They are on what you would describe as, maybe they're still in the spirit of Christmas, distributing gifts.
Absolutely.
To everybody, they're losing to everybody, and I would say for Crystal Palace, also not in the best of form themselves. So you would say, yes, the right time to play Chelsea.
Yes, the right time to play Chelsea, if you ask me. And one team that you, at this point, would also be looking at, and you don't want to play against because the mentality is there, the winning mojo seems to be working for Arsenal Football Club this season. They will be up against Tottenham Hotspur, on the road against Tottenham Arsenal. Faruk.
Well, it's going to be an interesting game. One of the games that you see loads of goals, and I saw it's not London derby. So these two sides, understand themselves very well. Arsenal never wishes at Tottenham Hotspur the best, while the same thing goes to Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur has been, they've been suffering, of late. Not consistent. They win some, lose the one you expect them to win, and that has been the story of Conte and the boys. But there's a certain Hurricane who, seemingly continue to score regardless of what is happening. So I feel it's going to be a very, very interesting one. But Arsenal too can also be a bit shaky once in a while, but they've shown to us that they can manage all the big games this season. The only team they've lost to in the Premier League is United, and United are always there. It's just like Superman and Krypton. Yeah, so that's just it. But I feel that there'll be a lot of goals in this one. Whoever is going to win, I don't know, but one thing's for sure: there's going to be both teams scoring this one. Take it to the bank.
Absolutely, absolutely. Both teams scoring in this one. If you put your money, we just saw some very interesting head-to-heads of both teams for as far as their meetings thus far in the last couple of seasons. And the marquee game in the English Premier League this weekend definitely is no other than Man United at home against Manchester City. Pep in the course of the week, as he's coming up with an obnoxious strategy. He said it's going to be as ridiculous as possible, but he's going to Old Trafford to shock United.
Well, I hope it wouldn't be a case where at the end of the day it now becomes Pep overthinking.
United for the first time. This is a match that this man does not even say too much about. He goes to the bank and feel he's going to win at all time. But now he's taking it very, very serious. One thing I know is that it's going to be a match that will be won by. Now he's taking it very, very serious. One thing I know is that it's going to be a match that will be won by tactics. And Pep. I want to test new things, something that's not done before. But I feel that one thing is sure here, that both sides are scoring at plenty, and both sides are also defending very well. So it's just about little to give. I feel the two sides will win. Who's going to win? That I can't tell.
Yes, who's going to win? Spoyo, one game you several persons would want to say might be cagey, considering the pedigree of both teams, Faruk.
Well, it's going to be very, very difficult for two sides that are not the yo-yo team in La Liga. You expect them to be very, very careful of themselves, to watch the way they play. And the one thing I don't like about La Liga is that you can never predict it these days. Teams that you expect them to win conveniently, the likes of Sevilla, Valencia, they struggle to play against all the slow side, and they don't score goals in La Liga anymore. That has shifted back to Italian Serie A. So I feel that as much as this match will be very interesting, can be very resolute at home. When they play against the top side, they are not so very, very tidy. So I don't see too many goals being scored in here. If I'm going to go for anything in this game, I will be going for on.
Madrid started last weekend. Will be their game against Valencia this week.
Yeah,
you might just be spot on with your stake in that one. We're going on a breather at this point, and when we return, still more to savor on the show. Stay with us.
OneXBet, reliable bookmaker with high odds, wide selection on events, and bonuses for every taste. OneXBet, easy use, easy win. Register with promo code and get a huge welcome bonus on your first deposit.
Yes, remember the promo code is OddsTV, and you just would be getting 300% bonus in your East Football Bankers, where we help you win plenty in the round of fixture. You want to say the first game for the week, and I think several persons would also be looking forward to that. We have Cremonese up against Monza. It will be, let's say, against Milan. Inter Milan will be at home against Verona. Sassuolo will file out against Lazio. It will be Torino against Spezia. Udinese will be up against Bologna. It will be Atlanta against Salernitana. Roma will be at home against Fiorentina, Jose Mourinho, and Empoli will lock ons against Sampdoria. Interesting games, if you ask me, in the Italian Serie. Let's start with the game that will be going down precisely tonight. Napoli up against Juventus Azzurri. Let me come to you on this. Napoli won their last game. Yeah. Remember, they started against Inter Milan, and now they are up against a big side. And not to forget that we're beginning to see a resurgent Juventus side. What do you make going into this fixture?
Yeah, Matthew, like you said, Juventus resurgent. For Napoli, they have a run of games now that, that is putting their title credentials, on the front burner. Yeah. So for them, it's absolutely vital that they get the win. But it will be very difficult against the most stingy defense in Serie A. Kept 8 consecutive clean sheets, incredible. Wow. But like it's something you said, and again, you would see that reflected in my ACA. I do think that Napoli would breach that.
Fiorentina.
I'm always scared to talk about Roma and Jose Mourinho. The last time we spoke about them, they played against AC Milan. They managed to play out a 2-2 draw, scoring 2 goals in the last, 5 minutes of that game. Yeah. And are now at home, they want to also catch up with teams that are in front of them. Juve used to be behind them now. Juve are staying steadily in the second position, and that's going to be another huge problem for them. But I feel that Roma, can always show up whenever they're playing against a loaded side. But Fiorentina are also a very good side, which I think will give them a lot of problem. But one thing is for sure that Jose Mourinho and his boys always do the job right at home. It might be very difficult to see goals in this one, but they will manage to win, perhaps by the hot goal margin.
Yes, one other game, Inter Milan up against Verona. Azu, you expect Inter to keep that momentum and just go out for a straight win in this one?
Absolutely. It's something you even select with your eyes closed.
Absolutely.
And Inter to win the 1-4 straight against Verona, I expect that run to continue.
Yes, expect that run to continue. The Italian Serie A, that's exactly what we just gave you now. The round of fixtures that will be going down, and the guys has also giving you their thoughts, expectations going into that fixture. If you queue behind that, you might just be the lucky one this weekend. We are heading straight up to the French League at this point. Lionel Messi is back in the team, and also Neymar is back. You want to say PSG are set to fire out all cylinders with games that will be going down this weekend in the French League. Going to be Lens against Marseille. Marseille will be at home against Lorient. It will be Lyon against Strasbourg, and other games that would also be going down. Toulouse will be at home against Brest. It will be Angers against Clermont-Foot. Reims would be at home against Nice. It will be Montpellier against Nantes. Monaco will file out against Ajaccio, and Rennes will be at home against PSG. You don't want to bet against PSG at this time. PSG on the road, but the big men are set to continue to do business after the World Cup.
Yeah, like you said, the big stars are back. Everybody is back. You would expect PSG to make easy work of this. But, the thing is that regardless of how dominant PSG has been in the league, I always find it very difficult to bank on them, right? So they have a tendency to disappoint when you expect them to, steamroll over teams. So what I'll be looking at for this one would be goals, because with the exceptional Arsenal at their disposal and also the leakiness in their defense, you'd expect plenty goals for them to concede and also for them to score. So I'm looking at least 3 goals in this particular one.
We'll go on a breather at this point, and when we return, the show continues. Stay with us.
1xBet, reliable bookmaker with high odds, wide selection on events, and bonuses for every taste. 1xBet, easy use, easy win. Register with promo code and get a huge welcome bonus on your first deposit.
Fine, come on, it's very easy. I guess it's in See, I get it in
Lucozade energy to get through it.
Yes, remember, Odds TV is the promo code. Just use that and 300 would be sure in your very first deposit. Remember, 1xBet is not all about football. You can also bet on tennis and other sports. They also have the visual sport for you to also stake on and win plenty. Football, basketball, tennis, name it, 1xBet got you covered. Remember, you can also be a part of the conversation via all our social media platforms, our Sportsville official on Facebook, our Sportsville NG on Instagram, our Sportsville Niger on Twitter, and also follow us live on Facebook, Sportsville Official. Remember, next week is going to be loaded on the show because you stand a chance to win plenty of goodies courtesy of 1xBet. Remember, get set. You must also be a customer. You must also have an account with 1xBet, and we'll also be launching our promo code. So you just register and just have plenty to do as far as the bonuses are concerned. So stay tuned in that one. Plenty to win from next week on the show. We're going to break at this point, and when we return, the show will be signing out. No, the guys would be giving us their short bangers for the week. Stay with us.
1xBet, reliable bookmaker with high odds, wide selection on events, and bonuses for every taste. 1xBet, easy use, easy win. Register with promo code and get a huge welcome bonus on your first deposit.
Fine, yeah, come on, it's very easy. I get 18 inches. See, I get 18 inches.
Lucozade energy to get through it.
We've done so much on today's episode for
On the Lecce at home to Milan. I'm going for Milan to win straight up. You know, they have to bounce back from that, debacle at home to AS Roma last time out. Inter vs Hellas Verona. If there's something known as a customer, you would say that Verona is a customer to Inter Milan. I expect Inter to win straight up. Marseille vs Lorient. I'm going for a goal in the second half. You know, Marseille has scored against this opponent 13 straight times. You know, last 4 times they've seen a goal in the second half at least. So I'm going for Marseille to score over 1 goal in the second half. And then we go to PSG at Reims. Like I said, PSG can't really trust them on the straight wins. I'm going for them to score or at least concede. So I'm looking at 3 goals in that one. You know, it all comes down to 38 odds. It's a 7-game ACCA. You can see the 1xBet code on the screen. So all you have to do is just load up the 1xBet app or go to the website and then put in that booking code. Take what you can afford to lose. Sit back, relax, enjoy. Come back on Monday, smile to the bank.
Wow, wow, interesting if you ask me, Zoo, with his picks for the week. You want to say, with the confidence, the panache, the zest, and also the belief in his expression, you want to queue behind Azu in this one and say, okay, I'm going to put my money in this round of games. But not to forget, the Octopus also have something in store for us.
All right, here we go. It's business time, and I want to be serious, you know, as far as these picks are concerned. My picks, the first one has to be United against City. 2 sides are very explosive. Both sides will be coming with their A game, and they'll be scoring in this side. So both sides to score, that is goal for Arsenal, are playing all the way at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Almeria against Atletico Madrid. Madrid wants to bounce back from their disappointing loss at home to Barcelona. Almeria are not a very good side in the La Liga, so I feel that Atletico Madrid should be winning outrightly in this one. If you go all the way down to Peninsula in Italy, Inter Milan, have not been convincing lately, but when they are playing against Hellas Verona, like Azu said, they are always on their A game, score load of goals in the zone. So outrightly, for you to be safe, just pick them to win, straight win for the home side. Rennes against PSG, anytime PSG are the ultimate favourites out there in French League 1, and I expect them to get back to winning ways, especially when you have Neymar, Mbappe, as well as the Lord Messi back in the team. So 2 win for PSG, and the final one has to be Atlanta against Salernitana in Italy, where I feel that Atlanta will get back to winning ways, and I feel playing at home against Salernitana, and if you combine all this together, it amounts to 25 odds, and the code is still right there at the bottom of your screen. Just come on Monday, like as you said, and come thank us and say, guys.
And the guys who have also made this possible will say thank you, adios.